Hi, and welcome to another video on the Casio CT-X3000. And this time I'm going to be looking at the function button, which is just sort of to the right-hand side of the wheel here. So we've already touched on some of the functions of these other buttons across the keyboard, but if you want to go into further detail, you really need to get into the function button here. Just be careful that you don't hold it down for a long period of time. So it's just a short press will get you into the function menu. And on the screen, there's a little icon display above on the top of the screen. It now says function. So we know we're in the function menu. And the first function it always comes up with is the touch settings. If you want to change how the keyboard responds to your touch, then this is where you would do it. So at the moment it's just set to, the value here is set to 3, but if I use the wheel just to go round, you can see when the value changes, the type of touch changes as well. So a value of 4 means heavy touch, if you've got a very heavy touch when you play the keyboard. Or you can turn it off completely so the keyboard won't respond to velocity or to your touch. The notes will always stay at the same kind of volume level or with the same kind of tone. If you've got a lighter touch, number 2, and 3 is just normal, so I tend to leave it on 3. So we're in the function menus, and to access the function menus, use the left and right cursor keys. Otherwise, you'll be changing the value of whichever menu you're on. So you need to use the left and right buttons here. So if I go to the right, it now says chord mod, and I'll keep going. Various menus come up, and if I keep going, eventually we get back to touch. So I could go left or I could go right, depending on which menu I want to access. The other thing to look at is that how some of them, like this one here, doesn't have any numbers. And then if we can find another one, say this one here, accompaniment volume has a number. So there is only really one function of the accompaniment volume menu, and that is to change the accompaniment volume. So you can use the wheel to change the accompaniment volume like that. But if I go back to something else, say let's go to Octave, I can press enter, and that gives me another kind of subset of parameters to alter. And again, once I'm in that Octave menu, I can use the left and right buttons to scroll through the different settings for Octave. And you can see here, although we did it once before with using just the actual dedicated Octave button down here, here you've got a bit more control. You can alter the octave for the upper 1 layer, for the upper 2 layer, the lower 1 layer, and the lower 2 layer. And you would alter the octave using the data wheel like this. To come back out of a menu, you just press the exit button, number 4 on the keypad, which takes us up a level. Press it again, and we're back to stage piano, or whichever voice tone you've got on the keyboard. So a reminder is a short press on the function button gets you into the function button menus. Let's move and find one of those other ones. Let's go to Reverb. And here the reverb is set to number 2. So the value, that means there's a list of reverb settings. And if I use the data wheel, number 1 is off. So now the piano has no reverb on it at all. Number 2 is a room. Gives it a slight feeling of being inside a room. Got various settings on these. On the CT-X3000 you've got more reverb, chorus and delay settings than you have on the 3000, but there's still a lot here to play with. Larger room. Hall. And you've got bigger venues, stadiums. Cathedrals. So again, to get away from the reverb menu, press Exit. And now we're back to tone at the beginning. So I hope that's useful. Check it out in the manual and you'll find a lot more information about what the function menus can actually control. Thanks for watching.